Hi all. Today we will discuss about the cooling towers, which is generally used in industrial applications for cooling the water. So if you take our refrigeration application, the refrigerant has to be cooled in the condenser. So if the condenser is a water cooled condenser, then water is used to cool the refrigerant. So after cooling, the water will become hot or warm, and then this hot water has to be further cooled in order to reuse it, especially where there is no abundant availability of water or there is a scarcity of water. The same water has to be recirculated again and again. So that's why the water from the condenser, which is in hot condition, has to be cooled. For that purpose, these cooling towers are used. And the cooling towers works on the principle of exchange of heat between the water which is sprayed on the air. So here the air, after absorbing the heat, will become hot and moves away, and the water will become cool, and it can be reused as a coolant in the condenser. Now there are two types of cooling towers. The first one is the natural draft cooling tower, so which is being shown here. So in which the flow of air takes place due to the density difference of the air. So that is, the hot air is less denser than the cold air. So that's why the hot air will move up. This is the structure of the cooling tower. So here the hot water will enters at this point. So generally the height of this is 1/3 of the total height of the cooling tower. So the hot water will enter at this point. This point is at a height of 1/3 from the 1/3 of the total height of the cooling tower from the bottom. Okay, now the water is being sprayed here and the air is entering from the bottom. So the water which is being sprayed onto this air gets cooled. That means there is a transfer of heat between the water and the air, so that the air will become hot and become less denser, and it will move up like this, and finally it reaches into the atmosphere. So as the water has given its heat to the air, it will become cool, and finally that cold water is collected here and it can be once again reused in the condenser. So here the circulation of air is taking place due to the density difference. So that's why this is a natural draft cooling tower. And the second one is mechanical draft cooling towers. So here we use fans to supply the air into the cooling tower. So here also there are two types. The first one is induced draft and the next one is forced draft. So both these two categories will come under mechanical draft cooling towers. So here, unlike the natural draft cooling tower, the water is sprayed at the top. The water is sprayed in the cooling tower at the top, and the air enters from the bottom. So here, a fan is provided at the top so that as the fan rotates, it sucks the air. That means it creates a vacuum in the cooling tower so that the air from the atmosphere will enter into the cooling tower and it will move upwards. So as the air moves upwards and the water is being sprayed on that air, there is an exchange of heat between the air and water, and air gets heated and the water gets cooled, and the air finally leaves from the top and the water is collected at the bottom. Okay, so this is a type of mechanical draft cooling tower, and here the airflow is taking place due to the creation of vacuum in the cooling tower. And the second one is forced draft. Here the fan is placed at the bottom, and here the fan forces the air into the cooling tower, so that the air is entered into the cooling tower with high pressure and it moves upwards, and during its flow through the cooling tower it absorbs the heat from the water which is being sprayed, and finally it leaves from the top. So this is about the forced draft cooling tower. Thank you.